David Muir, ABC's World News Tonight, America's most watched newscast. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day on Disney+. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney+ every night.
Tonight, the breaking news coming in out of Iran. They have just closed their airspace. What we've learned in the U.S. tonight, this mysterious cell phone outage. More than 1 million customers affected so far. First tonight, Iran, amid rising tensions there. American troops tonight warned to be ready to evacuate the largest U.S. base in the Middle East. Iranian police storming a hospital looking for injured protesters. Iran tonight shutting down their airspace. President Trump's warning if Iran executes protesters. And what the president is now saying tonight, what he has heard from the Iranians. In the U.S. tonight, that massive outage knocking out cell phone service for Verizon customers. More than 1 million affected, what we know so far, and who or what is behind this. Tonight, Greenland and Denmark sending officials to the White House, with President Trump saying anything less than the U.S. controlling Greenland is unacceptable. What those leaders said when they came out of the meeting. Tonight, the chilling new video just now emerging. Wait. ICE agents bursting through the door of an immigrant family's home in Minneapolis. The tension building, and influential podcaster Joe Rogan now questioning this, asking, are we really going to be the Gestapo? The FBI executing a rare search warrant at the home of a Washington Post reporter, seizing her cell phone, laptops, and other devices, what we know. Tonight, West Wing actor Timothy Busfield appearing in court on child sex abuse charges. Prosecutors now revealing a new allegation. His lawyers now saying the actor has taken a polygraph, and the message from his wife, actress Melissa Gilbert. At this hour, 4 NASA astronauts are now on their way back to Earth after that serious medical issue, the very rare move now to bring them home early. Tonight, we're also tracking a powerful storm sweeping its way east, bringing heavy snow, ice, and rain, multiple systems. Lee Goldberg has the forecast. Tonight, actor Kiefer Sutherland has now been arrested. Also, the 2 teenagers who died buried in the sand. And there's news coming in tonight on a chocolate recall. Why they're so concerned.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with breaking news coming out of Iran. We have learned a short time ago Iran restricting much of its airspace. U.S. troops at the largest U.S. base in the Middle East had been warned to be ready to evacuate. In Qatar, those American forces on alert, and tonight, Iran taking those steps to shut down its airspace. The situation inside Iran worsening 24 hours after President Trump warned that the U.S. would take, quote, very strong action if Iran began executing jailed protesters. Some of the new images emerging are disturbing tonight. Iranian police were seen storming a hospital on the hunt for injured protesters. Late today in the Oval Office, President Trump and what he says the Iranians are now saying after his demands. The president was asked if U.S. military action is still on the table. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell leading us off from the region again tonight.
Tonight, some American forces on the biggest U.S. base in the Middle East warned to be ready to evacuate. And late today, Iran closing its airspace amid soaring tensions. Just 24 hours ago, President Trump warning Iran the U.S. would take very strong action if they started executing jailed protesters. Late today, the president saying they've now heard from sources that Iran is holding off on the killings.
They've said the killing has stopped and the executions won't take place. There was supposed to be a lot of executions today.
The president signaling military action against Iran is on hold, at least for now.
We're going to watch it and see what the process is, but we were given a very good statement by people that are aware of what's going on. We were just told no executions. I hope that's true. That's a big thing.
But on the ground in Iran, this is the terror ordinary Iranians have faced for almost 3 weeks. Security forces storming a hospital in Elam, hunting for injured protesters, seen in video circulating online. More than 2,600 people, unarmed civilians, have been ruthlessly killed, according to human rights activists. And publicly today, the regime suggesting it isn't backing down. State TV showing the head of the judiciary appearing to urge fast trials and executions of protesters. 26-year-old Irfan Sultani was one of those set to be executed today, according to his family. He's one of more than 18,000 arrested. Speaking to ABC News, his cousin Samaya saying Irfan always spoke about Iran's freedom. He always felt he should not stay silent, she says. He should stand among the people. Late today, his family telling ABC News they've just heard he wasn't executed today. But so far, they haven't been allowed to see him.
David, after all the violence, President Trump saying Iran's promising to stop the killing, but he's also urged Iranians to continue protesting, and few of them are going to trust the regime not to start shooting them again if they do go back onto the streets. David.
Ian Pannell from the region again tonight. Ian, thank you. Meantime, back here in the U.S. at this hour, this massive outage impacting more than 1 million Verizon Wireless customers across the country. From New York City to Atlanta, Charlotte to Houston and beyond, who or what is behind this? Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, tonight.
Tonight, tens of thousands of Verizon Wireless customers can't make a phone call after a nationwide outage affecting voice and data service.
There's like a massive Verizon outage. My phone isn't working. My sister's phone isn't working.
Emergency alerts going out on social media urging those without service to find a different way to reach 911. In the last 24 hours, more than 1 million Verizon customers in New York, Atlanta, Charlotte, Houston, and elsewhere reported no service, seeing SOS instead of network bars on the corner of their phones. The outage appeared to reach its peak just after noon today. Verizon said, "We know this is a huge inconvenience," adding, "We understand the impact this has on your day and remain committed to resolving this as quickly as possible." Verizon has not said what caused the outage, but David, law enforcement sources are telling us so far it does not appear to be the result of a cyber attack, rather a problem with a server in New Jersey. David?
Aaron Katersky on this. Thank you, Aaron. Tonight, amid President Trump's continuing threats that the U.S. will take Greenland, officials from Greenland and Denmark came to the White House today. The president just today signaling anything less than the U.S. controlling Greenland is unacceptable. What those officials said when they came out of the meeting. Here's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, as President Trump escalates his push to take over Greenland, top officials from Greenland and Denmark traveling to Washington to plead their case to the vice president and secretary of state. But they emerged saying the two sides have a, quote, fundamental disagreement.
We didn't manage to change the American position. It's clear that the president has this wish of conquering over Greenland. We made it very, very clear that this is not in the interest of the kingdom.
Trump says the U.S. needs Greenland for national security and has not ruled out using military force to get it.
I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
Denmark, our NATO ally, says they're happy to work with the U.S. to bolster security in the region.
But that doesn't mean that we want to be owned by the United States.
A new poll shows 86% of voters, including 68% of Republicans, oppose using military force to seize Greenland. And as Trump ramps up his threats, Denmark now increasing their military presence in Greenland and asking other NATO allies to help. Sweden today also sending troops. Tonight, Republican Senator Mitch McConnell warning if the U.S. takes on a NATO ally, it would be incinerating the hard-won trust of loyal allies. But President Trump insists NATO would be stronger with Greenland, quote, in the hands of the United States, adding anything less than that is unacceptable.
And we'll see how it all works out. I think something will work out.
And David, we have just learned that France, at the request of Denmark, is also sending military forces to Greenland. And again, President Trump says this is all about national security. He says Russia and China are poised to take Greenland, but the officials visiting here today insist that's simply not true. They say they haven't seen a Chinese warship in Greenland in over a decade. But both sides tonight agreeing to keep talking. David.
Mary Bruce at the White House tonight. Thank you, Mary. This evening, chilling new video just now emerging in the immigration crackdown in Minnesota. ICE agents seen bursting through the door of an immigrant family's home in Minneapolis. And what influential podcaster Joe Rogan is now saying about all this. ABC's Faith Abube is there again tonight.
Can you put the guns down? There's kids in this house.
Tonight, terrifying new video shows the view from inside an immigrant family's home after an ICE agent broke down the door with a battering ram.
Show the warrant first.
A woman telling agents they must show a warrant to enter Garrison Gibson's home. Gibson's lawyer says the 37-year-old is an immigrant from Liberia who fled civil war as a child. Gibson was facing removal due to a decade-old drug conviction, but had been checking in with authorities for years. Homeland Security says he has a lengthy rap sheet.
So if he's this dangerous person, then why are they letting him walk around?
Violent scenes playing out on a daily basis of agents pepper spraying people. This woman ripped from her car, pleading that she's disabled. Many, including influential podcaster Joe Rogan, are questioning the federal agents' tactics.
And then I can also see the point of view of the people that say, yeah, but you don't want militarized people in the streets just roaming around, snatching people up, many of which turn out to actually be U.S. citizens that just don't have their papers on them. Are we really going to be the Gestapo? Where's your papers? Is that what we've come to?
It's been 1 week since Renee Good was shot and killed by ICE agent Jonathan Ross, amid questions over whether the shooting was justified. Homeland Security officials and multiple sources tell ABC News that he was in fact injured, suffering internal bleeding in his torso, but they did not elaborate on the extent. Tonight, Renee Good's family issuing a new statement asking for privacy and thanking supporters, calling Renee the beautiful light of our family who brought joy to anyone she met. And David, Renee Good's family is also asking for peace and accountability. They've now also hired the same attorneys who represented George Floyd's family in their successful wrongful death case. David.
Faith Abube in Minneapolis tonight. Faith, thank you. Tonight, the Trump administration suspending immigrant visa processing for 75 countries. It begins next week. The State Department says it will pause processing until further notice. It says the move is designed to keep immigrants who may require public assistance out of the country. Affected countries include Somalia, Russia, Afghanistan, Iran. The full list has not yet been released. To other news tonight, West Wing actor Timothy Busfield appearing in court on child sex abuse charges. Prosecutors revealing a new allegation. His lawyers now say the actor has taken a polygraph, and tonight hear the message from his wife, actress Melissa Gilbert. Here's Trevor Olt.
Tonight, West Wing actor and director Timothy Busfield is being kept in custody without bond on child sex abuse charges, and he's now facing a new allegation. Late today, Busfield making his first court appearance via Zoom on charges he sexually abused a child actor that he directed on the TV show The Cleaning Lady.
Was there anything further from counsel for defense for this state at this time?
And prosecutors now say another parent has come forward, claiming several years ago Busfield sexually abused his 16-year-old daughter during a theater audition in Sacramento, saying Busfield begged the family not to report to police if he received therapy. Prosecutors argued he poses a serious danger to children, having shown a sustained pattern of predatory conduct going back decades. Before he turned himself in, Busfield denied all accusations alleged in the criminal complaint, saying in this video obtained by TMZ,
"I'm going to confront these lies. They're horrible."
His wife of more than a decade, actress Melissa Gilbert, has now deactivated her social media, saying through her publicist she stands with and supports her husband.
David, Timothy Busfield's attorney claims he passed a polygraph denying these criminal allegations. Busfield is due back in court later this month.
David. Trevor Ault in Albuquerque for us. Thank you, Trevor. Tonight we have learned the FBI has executed a rare search warrant at the home of a Washington Post reporter, seizing her cell phone, laptops, and other devices. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, members of the media expressing deep concern after the FBI took the rare step of going to the home of a Washington Post reporter and confiscating her phone and other electronic devices. After early morning FBI search at the residence of reporter Hannah Nasonson, the Post issuing an urgent message to the staff. Quote, "This extraordinary aggressive action is deeply concerning and raises profound questions and concern around the constitutional protections for our work." But tonight, DOJ officials pushing back, claiming that the search was necessary because the reporter had received classified information from a government contractor who was arrested last week for the unlawful retention of national defense information. Justice Department official telling ABC News at the time of his arrest, Aurelio Luis Perez Lugones was communicating with the Washington Post reporter on his mobile device, and in the chat, there was classified information. David, Washington Post leaders say they were told the newspaper and the reporter were not targets of the investigation. But David, this action is so rare that a number of media experts are calling it an aggressive escalation and a threat to the free press.
Pierre Thomas will continue to follow this for us. Thank you, Pierre. Next tonight here, a new update by the NTSB finding Boeing had warned about a defect linked to the deadly crash of that UPS cargo plane in Louisville, Kentucky. 15 people were killed when that plane went down just seconds after takeoff. Investigators say they found signs of fatigue in part of a bearing assembly fixed to the engine. In 2011, Boeing alerted MD-11 operators about the problem found in 4 previous incidents. But Boeing at the time also said that the issue would not affect safety. At this hour, we have learned 4 NASA astronauts are beginning to make their trip back to Earth after one of them suffered that serious medical issue. Just a short time ago, they boarded a SpaceX capsule and undocked from the International Space Station. Their mission cut short because of that undisclosed problem. They are scheduled to splash down in the Pacific Ocean off Southern California overnight, and of course, we'll keep you posted right here tomorrow night. When we come back on the broadcast, the chocolate recall tonight, what they're so concerned about. Also, there's a powerful storm sweeping its way east, bringing heavy snow, ice, and rain, and so Lee Goldberg is standing by. He'll have the forecast. He'll time this out for us. Also, we have learned 2 teenagers have died buried in the sand. The attempt to rescue them, how long they were buried. Their families say they were best friends. And we've learned tonight that actor Kiefer Sutherland has been arrested, what he's accused of in a moment here. We'll be right back. Tonight here, we're tracking this powerful storm sweeping its way east. Heavy snow, ice, and rain. In fact, up to a foot of lake-effect snow possible from Indiana to Michigan to parts of New York over the next 48 hours. A blinding snow squall already hitting Chicago and parts of Indiana where a winter storm warning is in place at this hour. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist at WABC, Lee Goldberg, back with us tonight. Hey, Lee.
Hey, David, this is all signaling a return of the big chill from the Great Lakes into the Northeast. We've got snows from Indiana, Ohio into western New York State. It's going to pivot into the interior Northeast. There'll be some rain showers and maybe some flakes that get down the I-95 corridor, but it's more about crashing temperatures like here in New York City tomorrow. Rounds of snow into the beginning of the weekend. There are lake snow warnings from Cleveland to Erie for up to 15 inches of snow. Winter storm warnings east of the lakes. Could be up to a foot of snow from the lakes into the interior Northeast and the Appalachians into Saturday. Another storm could come on Sunday, followed by a cold blast. David?
Lee Goldberg, thanks as always. Tonight, the terrible tragedy. 2 teenagers who relatives say were best friends died after a sand hole that they were digging at the beach collapsed in on them. The 5-foot deep hole trapping them on Sunday at a park in Citrus County, Florida, north of Tampa. Authorities say they were buried for about an hour before they were able to pull them out. When we come back tonight, actor Kiefer Sutherland has been arrested. Also, this chocolate recall tonight and why they're so concerned in a moment here. To the index of other news, actor Kiefer Sutherland was arrested in Hollywood after an alleged altercation with a rideshare driver. Police say the designated survivor star assaulted and threatened the driver early Monday morning. Sutherland was released on $50,000 bond. He's expected back in court on February 2nd. Tonight, Saks Global, the parent company of 2 of the most iconic stores, Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus, filing for bankruptcy protection. Both stores facing dwindling sales and increasing debt. A new Saks Global leadership team will try to reorganize and keep those stores open. Tonight, a chocolate recall. Spring and Mulberry recalling its mint leaf date-sweetened chocolate bars for potential salmonella contamination. All of the bars have lot code 025255. Customers can request a refund. If you missed that number, we have more on our website for you. When we come back here tonight, this was no ordinary kiss, especially the reaction in a moment.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Progressive.
Finally tonight here, the song goes, "A kiss is just a kiss," but this one will be remembered by an entire family for a good long time. America Strong. Tonight in Colorado Springs, a milestone family moment caught on camera. It's now been watched by millions. This is 4-day-old Lena Wold, just home from the hospital in her pink onesie, little sister written right on the front, with mom Shelby recording the moment. Big brother 2-year-old Theo is about to give little Lena a kiss for the very first time.
You're gonna give her a kiss. Okay. Oh.
And watch that newborn. Slowly, she starts to smile.
You liked your kiss from your big brother?
Incredibly, her family saying it's the very first time they've seen her smile, and they couldn't believe they got it.
She liked the kiss, Bob. She was smiling.
Right here tonight.
Hi, David.
The Wold family, proud mom, big brother Theo, and baby Lena, now 4 weeks old, and still smiling.
It just made me so happy because I was nervous to have 2 kids and a newborn again. And so it just was a really sweet moment that I was excited to share with everybody.
Tonight, the Wolves and their message.
Treasure those moments, those happy moments, even when they're small, like a smile. All right, bye, David. Can you say bye? Good job.
Good job indeed. Keep making your little sister smile. You made us smile tonight. And I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.
David Muir, the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the 3rd year in a row.